Ay, Kongo cara, 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 ay, Kongo.
Hello, welcome to the first episode in which we will talk about Afro-Cuban music, culture and dancing. In this episode, we'll share our knowledge about Palo. I'm here with Dave. You've met Dave in some other theoretical chats. And in this one, we will tell you about Palo as much as we can. We'll try to make it very complex. So talk about culture, talk about music, talk a bit about religion, talk about where it came from. And in the end, we'll show you dance as well, including a small sequence that we will teach you how to dance together with Ola. So,
we should say salam alaikum, not hello, right?
Okay, first thing, what is Palo about? Where it came from, and in general, what it is.
Okay, so Palo is a dance, a type of music, a religion that is practiced in Cuba, and it's come originally from Africa, from a region called the Kongo basin, which extends as far as Cameroon in the north and as far south as Angola. So it's a huge region. And these people will have been forcibly transported during the slave trade era to Cuba and to the rest of the Caribbean and the New World. And they will have taken with them elements of the culture, African culture. And one of those elements is Palo.
What is important to mention is probably that they have common language. Yeah, so all people from this region speak Bantu. Yeah, so we have a Bantu language. We have this one big region in Africa, and slaves coming to Cuba. They brought with them their culture, their beliefs, and their music, and obviously dancing. So, what is Palo religion about? What do we know about that?
Okay, so in the song that you heard a snippet of at the beginning of the video, there's a beginning called a rezo, which is a prayer. And Kongo de Guinea soy buena noche criollo, yo déjame besar allá, yo vengo a hacer caridad. I think my interpretation of those lyrics is a spirit of the Kongo ancestors talking to the person who is here at this ceremony or singing or whatever, and is saying, I left my bone there in the ground. And basically it's this communication between the ancestral spirits and elements of the earth, water, forces of nature and stuff. And it all is, the focal point is this nganga, this what you'd call an altar, I guess, which has bones which have been dug up by the practitioner and put in the altar, along with sacrificial items like food, blood, money maybe, or other items. Wood sticks are used as well. So Palo, the name Palo, I guess comes from Palo meaning Spanish stick, but there's sacred sticks in the Palo religion.
Sorry, I stopped you. I listened to this, one of the Palo priests, when he was explaining what palos are about, what sticks are about. So basically, they believe that they can put different powers in sticks. So there might be healing stick, there might be protecting stick, there might be also like evil stick, something that will cause troubles to other people.
So they're endowed with magical properties, aren't they, these sticks?
Yes. So basically they are trying to get the help from the positive sticks, if you want to call it this way, and avoid the negative ones.
Exactly,
So they try to satisfy the evil spirits and get help from this good spirits. So this is what they believe, and all these spirits come from nature and from their ancestors. That's why around the altar you have usually soil, bones, flowers, pieces of wood, but also what we mentioned before, bones, blood, and quite often they when they initiate new person to their religion, they go for a ritual called scratching, and it's not really a scratching. They take a machete and hammer, yeah, like heavy item, and they hit the machete to make not even scratches, literally cuts on a person's body. So it is kind of a violent ritual. Maybe I'll make like a small window somewhere here showing, because there are multiple videos available of this ritual.
Yeah. Talking about the sticks, there are some songs as well that I've been taught. Like, for instance, Ae, palo cucu ye, palo cucu ye, palo cucu ye. Ae, palo siwaraya, palo siwaraya, palo siwaraya. Ae, palo siwaraya. And so these are all, there's Palo Vencedor as well, and they're all the names of the type of sticks with magical properties, the palos. So yeah, if you have an understanding of the songs, you'll actually, and a familiarity with them, you'll actually hear them coming up in timba music, in salsa music. And it's really good to be familiar with that, because being a dancer, like, okay, you can just dance to the rhythm or whatever. The next step is then dancing in a musical way, and another
interpret the music.
Yeah, interpret the music as well. And if you can hear this stuff, there's tons of references to Palo, Abacua, all the folkloric elements of Cuban music. And having just a little bit of knowledge of them is gonna improve your dancing, isn't it? And that's why we make these videos.
So what he means is very often happening in timba song that one of these verses or one of the lines keeps repeating, like being repeated by choir, for example, and that brings a lot of, like Dave said, this folkloric element into modern music. So modern Cuban music takes a lot from its roots and its African roots.
I've heard a lot in Havana de Primera references to Palo. We talk about that Michael Blanco song, Ayon Congo. Ayon Congo it's called, but it has a phrase in it, Ayon Congo Cara, which I was just singing in the video. I have a Congo face.
Or even Yasser Ramos that we talked about yesterday. So his band, new band, is called Yasser Ramos y El Tumbao Mayombe. Which this word Mayombe is quite significant for Palo culture, because Bantu people, they call themselves Yombe. So quite often you'll find different names for Palo music, religion, dance, and so on. It can be Palo Congo. I think Congo is a name.
It's a broad name. Isn't it?
Broad name, but more, I don't want to say Cuban name, but it's not really African name. I think the original one was Palo Mayombe. However, if you check on Wikipedia claims that they are different branches of Palo. However, I'm not convinced about that. I think they are, in many cases, just different names given by different groups of people. I believe this works in this way.
I'm not sure. I thought there was just different branches of Regla de Palo.
And
it's a broad... Regla de Palo is a broad term to encompass a lot of different...
That means religion, basically.
And we should talk about the dance, shouldn't we? Like, and how...
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a second. But yes, okay, let's talk about dancing from the perspective we are talking about now. So, what we know now about Palo is that it is strongly spiritual dance. They believe in magic powers as well. They believe in magic. They believe in these ancestor spirits that not only help you, but they can get into you. And the dancing interpretation very often includes the possession of the person by the spirit. So you go a bit crazy eyes, crazy behavior, not necessarily fully controlled. So this is very important, because, yes, we should mention that many Cuban teachers on festivals say that Palo is a war dance. What has not much in common with the truth, really. I mean, we haven't found any information about that. So apart of actually Cuban dancers telling us it's a war dance.
I mean, it looks very aggressive.
It is aggressive, but it's very easy to explain. The Palo, like action with a stick. with what we already said, and the aggressive behavior with the spirit possession, what is actually the case, I think.
I mean, something that I was reading before said that a lot of these are ancient movements, body movements, dances, and then the real meaning behind them is probably been lost over generations and generations and generations.
Yes.
And the tradition of dancing them has come on, but the precise meaning we don't really know. But yeah, certainly having this attitude of what it's a bit aggressive gets you into the kind of feel of it and stuff.
Yes.
But it doesn't represent the entire Regla de Palo, because it's a very, very huge.
And many of them claim that this is very peaceful religion. So that,
Salam alaikum.
Yeah. So even phrases like that, but not only in singing, but also in their behavior and the way they are running their ceremonies. That they are actually sacrificing some goods and elements to gods to keep them satisfied. So basically, it is peaceful behavior. It's a part of this. Even this scratching, it looks quite violent. But I'm not sure how harmful it is.
Going back to the rezo, the introduction to that song, the spirit is saying buenas noches, he's saying good evening to the guy. And he's also saying he comes to do charity, o vengo a hacer caridad, he comes to do good work. I.e., he's saying, I'm going to be good on this occasion, I think. But he could equally come and he could be either mischievous, or he could be violent, or he could be wreak havoc, I don't know.
But this is very far away still from any tribal war dance, what we were introduced to.
It's too simplistic. So let's...
we are not sharing the idea that this is a war dance, even when we used to believe in that as well. But again, we were taught like that, so it's sometimes good to just dig a bit deeper. And we are not telling you, because we are not experts in Palo religion for sure. This is only information we found in many different sources. So, and we try to gather it together for you. Okay, let's continue and let's talk about music a bit. So, in all Afro-Cuban dances, the rhythmical aspect is extremely important. This is something what drives the dance. This is something what makes you feel the dance. And in Palo in particular, singing part, in my opinion, gives the strongest rhythmical indication. So you have all these drums that we are going to talk about, kata, bells, shakers, we'll talk about it in a second, but then singing gives a lot of feel for the rhythm. So if you are able to listen in not in the simplest way, because even in the song that they've made, there are moments when singing starts not at the beginning of the musical phrase, but he's still accenting, like lifting the voice in the strongest moment, like just to give the beat. So can you just...
Pa que tú me llamas, pa que tú me llamas, si tú no me conoces, pa que tú me llamas, pa que tú me llamas, pa que tú me llamas, si tú no me conoces, pa que tú me... Ay en Kongo cara, ay en Kongo cara, ay en Kongo cara, ay en Kongo cara.
So from singing you get very good indication of the rhythm. However, very often it will happen that there will be just the percussion, no singing, and we still have to maintain our dance. So let's talk about the rhythm a bit, or maybe first instruments. We are playing on Kongo drums. However, in Palo tradition, the drums are slightly different. I think they have two different sets of drums. Some are thinner, some are a bit wider, but there are 3 drums in general of 3 different tones. Do you know the names for them?
Yeah, so the lowest is called the caja, the middle is called a mula, and the highest is called the chimbo.
And if you have some experience with Cuban music, Afro-Cuban music, you might be used to, for example, quinto improvising in wawanko, so the highest drum, but in Palo it's opposite, so the lowest drum is improvising, other drums are keeping a relatively stable rhythm. Other instruments, we have kata. Can give you kata. Kata can play 2 different rhythms. in the video we made, we played Columbia kata. So they can demonstrate, this kata went through quite a lot. It's humidity in England that kills it. One. Okay. So, this is the same kata as in rumba Colombia. So you have and when we are dancing, we are stomping on the beat. So ta 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 ta. Okay. I'm holding.
Do we do the other rhythm?
Oh yeah. There might be different variation for kata, and we like to call this rhythm a nice cup of tea. Yeah. So you can have
so English.
yeah, you can have this rhythm present in Palo as well. This one is a bit easier, I believe, because then the flum comes on every 1 and 3, basically. So ta 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 ta. So, and this is actually the moment when the leg goes down for the step. Okay. Then we have bell. This is not exactly correct bell. I didn't bring. I regret. I could have brought something else. There's something else in their tradition. It's called guataca. In our tradition, it will be called hoe.
Hoe blade, yeah.
Yeah. Not hoe. Hoe blade. Okay, let's call it hoe.
For turning over the soil.
Yeah. So it's like a triangular metal shape with a handle. And yeah, you can find it almost in any garden, and they play very often on a piece of equipment like that. But I can do the same on the blade and on the bell.
Yeah, I'm sure you have done it on the blade at one point.
So
Sorry.
the rhythm we are playing here is traditional 6/8 bell. Actually, we should have started with that. We didn't ever say that Palo is 6/8 rhythm. Yeah, so we counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ta 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 ta. Obviously, a lot faster than that. So, what actually you hear from dancing perspective is just 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. It's that fast. Like when we were playing for you this whole video at the beginning, the combination is 180 beats per minute. So it is fast. It is very, very fast. Okay. 6/8 bell. So I like her. I don't like him. 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 Very fast, difficult to maintain this rhythm. I don't know how
Tell me about
yeah. And when we recorded it before, they've had multiple attempts on bell, and it is quite difficult to keep going the same fast pace and do it regularly. Okay, so we have these instruments and we have shakers. For shakers, they might use many different instruments, really. Yeah, we have maracas here, and they play just on the beat, or 1 3 or 1 3 5. Sorry, 1 2 3 4 or 1 3.
I'm not even sure what I was doing now.
Or just one.
Congo, Conguito, Congo de vida.
So 1 and 3.
Yeah.
1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are not going to break down the rhythms for drums for you, because by itself they sound a bit odd. I mean, it is important obviously how you play these things, but it creates a melody together, and what you are looking is this melody. What you're looking for is this melody. So we'll play all of them together, and then you can feel where it happens. So you remember if you are looking for the downbeat, it will be very clear actually. I think it will be very clear. Let's try it.
Go for it.
Da 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 da. Okay, it is tricky to play. It is tricky to play. It is extremely fast. Yeah. One day we will be good in playing Palo. One day. Again, I'm concentrating on dancing. Dave's concentrating a lot on more on drumming. But we'll get there one day. If it happens that you would like to practice a bit with the rhythm, obviously the percussion tutor app is great for that. It plays the Palo rhythm in very similar way we are playing. The only significant difference is the bell. Where is the one?
That's a good question. One. Like her, I don't like him. I like her, I don't like him. I think I'm in the wrong place.
No, you're good.
No, I don't think I'm
You're
wrong.
good. You're good.
Could be right, could be wrong. I don't know.
Like him, I like her, I don't 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 like him, I like her, like him, I like her, I don't like him, I like her, I don't like him, I like her, like him, I like her, I don't like him, I like her, I don't like him. Difficult. This is quite difficult. Yeah, obviously you can turn on the kata and then hear both of them. And that gives you a very strong rhythm indication already. Okay, so the last part to cover is the dance part, and we'll show you the routine that we dance during the mixed video. So, mixed video will come up now. Drumming, singing, and dancing.
Kongo de Guinea soy. Buenas noches, criollo. Kongo de Guinea soy. Buenas noches, criollo. Yo déjame huesawaya. Yo vengo a hacer caridad. Yo déjame huesawaya. Yo vengo a hacer caridad. Congo, conguito, Congo de verdad. Yo baja la tierra, hacer caridad. Congo, conguito, Congo de verdad. Yo baja la tierra, hacer caridad. Congo, conguito, Congo de verdad. Yo baja la tierra, hacer caridad. Congo, conguito, Congo de verdad. Yo baja la tierra, hacer caridad. ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? Si tú no me conoces, ¿pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? Si tú no me conoces, ¿pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? Si tú no me conoces, ¿pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? ¿Pa' qué tú me llamas? Si tú no me conoces, ¿pa' qué tú me llamas? Ay, Congo cara, 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 ay, Congo cara. Salam aleikum, 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 mami. Go.
Okay, two more things that we would like to cover. First, when we are still talking about music, they've already introduced you to some songs, but we'll talk about one more. It will just give you a bit more idea what this music is about, what the singing is about, what we are interpreting while dancing.
Yeah. So one of the songs is Vamos la pinda vamos la pinda vamos la pinda de sanitaria buca caracole paluga. Vamos la pinda vamos la pinda vamos la pinda de sanitaria buca caracole paluga. That's a mouthful to say. But we're going to get seashells essentially. We're going to go to Bamala Finda. I think Finda was, Christian told me it was cemetery, maybe a slang word for a cemetery.
Okay.
And so we'd gather these seashells and basically play with them, pahugar, to play. But really they wouldn't be playing. So an outside point of view they would be playing, but they would really be asking the gods, maybe throwing them on the floor and doing some kind of divination, asking questions to the gods and getting answers. And yeah, so there's this constant association with the cemetery and the dead and stuff within Palo.
Mm-hmm. So it's always two different aspects, yeah. So there is this spirits of ancestors, so a bit of death feel, yeah, like Dave says, cemetery, bones, blood, and then forces of nature, so even seashells, power of water, of nature, even like animals. And I mean, I'm not sure if they're sacrificing live animals. I never came across that, but it wouldn't be impossible, I think. Okay, and the last thing we should mention is the relationship between different religions in Cuba in context of Palo. We already told you that Paleros speak Bantu. We know already, not from our videos, but you will know that from our videos soon as well, that we have a big group of people speaking Yoruba.
Olukomi in Cuba.
Yes. And then we have Arara tribe as well. We'll talk about it at some point in future, but it's very, and we have strong Christianity in Cuba as well. So it's important to understand that all these beliefs and religions, in a way, they are interlocking. So there are equivalents in Christian religion, in Yoruba, and in Palo as well.
Yeah, yeah. So in Palo, Sarabanda is commonly associated with Ogun, and Siete Rayos is something which is also sung, which is in connection to Chango with the lightning bolts. Lucerito, I think it's Elegua. Mama Chola, I think that's a female Orisha. I think it could be, might be Oshun. I need to check this, but it could be Oshun or it could be, oh yeah, it could be Oshun.
I don't know that.
But yeah, maybe we'll post it below if anyone's interested.
Yeah, there are many details we could go through. One more thing that just came to my mind, it's like what was my first connection with Palo? How I came across Palo for the first time. And it was Wawanko Festival in Barcelona, and actually it was Rumba Colombia class. We never said that.
Yeah.
But Palo is very big thing when you are dancing Colombia. You can mix and match Colombia steps with Palo steps. It's rhythmically the same bass. We are using the same kata. And the guy that I was attending his class was called Julio Manguero, and he was famous of dancing Colombia based on Palo. So multiple steps in Colombia taken directly from Palo. Very, very interesting thing to notice. Obviously, when we said that Palo appears in timba music, we are very often adding some Palo steps just into salsa. So this is the main reason why we are learning it. We want our dancing become more versatile. We want to be able to respond to the music. We want to be able to react for rhythms and for lyrics as well. Eventually, probably not yet for everybody. This is quite tricky. And another, you see, every time when we start some conversation, another thought comes up. So one more, that Palo is sung in multiple languages. So majority of it is in Bantu. However, you have a lot of Spanish, or even more in Spanish.
More in Spanish, yeah.
More in Spanish. So a bit in Spanish, a bit in Bantu. Some words are from Yoruba, and some words are Arabic as well.
Yeah. Salam alaikum.
Yeah. So it's a mix. So to understand it, you have to go really in depth and analyze the lyrics. It's not enough to like listen. Oh, I caught something. Oh, so you need to actually know what they are singing about. That's why Dave is here, and that's why he is explaining you all this. Hello again. This time I'm here with Ola, and we're going to teach you how to dance Palo. We talked a lot about Palo. We explained you the rhythm. Now it's time to learn how to dance it. You've seen us dancing in this mix before during the video, and one of the important things that I should mention before we start dancing is the expression while you are dancing Palo. We told you that we believe, or people who dance Palo or perform Palo believe that they are being possessed by spirits. Because of that, it's very common to go with a bit crazy eyes, weird head movement, and definitely tons and tons of energy. I will include also at the end of this video some examples from Cuba where people perform Palo. Then you can see how it should look as a performance. We are not performing it for a show. We are just trying to teach you how to do it, how to dance it, how to have general idea of Palo music, culture, religion, and dance. So let's do it. We will go through the routine that we danced together with Dave and Diego, singing and playing. A part of steps and upper body movement, there is also strange rhythmical aspect in Palo when it works as a whole song, and I will talk about it in a second. So we start with upper body movement. The most important thing is that Palo is African dance, so we always accent the movement down. Tak taka taka tak taka taka tak taka taka tak taka ta ta da ta da da ta 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 da ta da da ta 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 da ta da da ta 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 da ta da ta. Very common mistake is that people accent opposite directions like ta ta da ta da da ta. No, that's wrong. This moment when the heel goes up and upper body goes back is a prep for the step down. So the first step we are doing, maybe first let's do arms. So we're starting with both arms to the left, we drop them down, and arms to the right, and we drop them down. Now when I say arms are moving up and down, upper body is following it. Boom, boom, and da 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 da. Okay, so there is tempo. Now, when the upper body is lifted up, we support it with legs, and we start with the heel going up for prep, and then ta ta ra ta da ra ta 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 ra ta da ra ta 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 ra ta da ra ta 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 ra da ta ta ra da ta ta ra da ta ta ra ta ta ra ta da ra ta 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 ra with arms hop ta ta ra ta da ra ta 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 ra ta da ra ta. And this is the basic body behavior. We try to keep it as similar to this base through whole the routine as much as possible. Obviously, some movements are slightly different, then we have to adjust. But the dropping down motion is the most important. We are changing hands slightly, and instead of moving both, we are going only with the same arm as the leg is going up. Arm goes close to the shoulder, and then both of them are meeting at the bottom. And then the same with the other, and down. Ta ta ra ta ta ra ta 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 ta. Okay? So this is step number 2. We do them both 4 times. Step number 3. We go twice with the right leg and twice with the left, and then arm is going first from up, down, and then from corner, down. And then we do the same with the other. Up, down, and corner, down. Up, down, and corner, down. And left, and right, and right. Tick, tick. So, ta ta ra ta ta ra ta 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 ra ta ta ra ta. Let's do whole sequence from the beginning till this point. Ta ta ra ta ta ra ta 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 ra ta ta ra ta 2 ta ra ta ta ra ta 3 ta ra ta ta ra ta 4 ta ra ta ta. One arm, 1 ta 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 ra ta 2 ta 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 ra ta 3 ta 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 ra ta, and 4 and change, and right ta 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 ra ta, left ta 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 ra ta, right ta 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 ra ta, left ta 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 ra ta. And this will be the first dodgy rhythmical transition that we will need. So now we have a transition to wings. The difficulty is that singing comes halfway through the kata. So I'll sing it and I'll show you what I mean. So we start with arm up, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, transition ta ta ra da ta, ta ta ra 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 ta ra da ta, ta. And this is the way we are dancing in the demo. But this is very confusing, and it's specific for the song. So instead of that, we'll play the rhythm from percussion to tutor, which is stable, no changing in the singing because there is no singing, just playing rhythm. And we'll do the sequence in 4 even parts. So each part will be repeated 4 times, just for sake of learning, yeah? But when you are watching the demo, have in mind that we are changing the rhythm, we are adapting because song is changing and we know it's changing. Okay, let's go through the wing movement. So we know that we are taking energy and we are getting inspired by powers of nature. So we are simulating wings. So we are taking energy from flying creatures and from power of wind. So the movement starts from the rib cage. We open arms and we are closing. We open and we are closing. But because we want to keep the Palo dynamics, the closing part is sharp. So oop, strong, okay? This is thing number 1. Thing number 2, we are traveling while doing this movement. So we start with the right foot that goes on 1, tick. Then for the next step, I'm moving left towards the center and lifting right at the same time. Boom, and tick and swap, and tick and swap, and tick and swap, and tick and swap, okay? So we keep traveling. Let's do that one more time. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra, swap. To transition it opposite direction, we have to make a prep on the last part of kata, and we come back. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra, swap. We repeat it 4 times with arms. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra, swap. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra, swap. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra, swap. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra, swap. And this will be the next step. Now, how to transition the previous step to the wing step in real life when we don't have the rhythm change. We'll show you that. Ta ta ra ta ra da up, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta. 3 and 4 and go. Ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da. Hop. Let's do everything from the beginning till this point, so you have the general image of what we are doing and how we are doing it. Ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da. 4 ta ta ra change, and 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 3 ta ra da ta, 4 ta ra and change, 1 ta ra da ta, 2 ta ra da ta, 3 ta ra da ta, 4 and change. Ta ta ra da ta, ta ta ra da hop, ta ta ra ta ta ra da hop, ta ta ra da ta, ta ta ra da hop, ta ta ra ta, and ta ta ra da stop. Okay, so this is our routine more or less. We are not putting as much energy in it as usual because Palo is extremely tiring. So this 40-ish seconds that we've danced at the beginning during the demo, it makes you extremely tired when you dance to very fast pace. I'll talk about pace in a minute, not yet. We continue with a train movement. I call it the train movement because arms are simulating train, more or less. I like to have something in my head, so relate my movement to something from real life. It's a lot easier to dance. So these are wings of the bird, and this is a train. It's okay. We repeat it with kata, ta ta ra ta ra ra ta, ta ta ra ta da da ta, and every second goes up. Ta ta ra da ra ta, ta ta ra ta ra ra ta, ta ta ra ta ra ra ta, ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. And the same with right arm, ta ta ra ta ra ra ta, ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. We combine arms together twice with the left and twice to the right. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta, 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 ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. On top of that, we add legs. We start with right being close to the left, then we push on the right, go back with the right, and shift the weight. Tap and move and go, and step and go, and touch and go, and touch and go. When I say touch, I still transfer quite significant amount of weight, but I bounce back from this leg. This is very common step in rumba Colombia. Yeah, we told you about Julio Manguero applying Palo steps to Colombia. This is one of the most commonly used steps. You will see it a lot during rumba Colombia performances. Let's do it. Ta ta ra ta ra da ta, 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 ta ta ra ta ra da, hop, ta. Okay. And then we have a next step. We are traveling back. So far we showed you only how to stay in a spot, move different legs and arms while staying in one position, traveling to the right, traveling to the left. Now we'll go back. Accent goes down again, but then prep goes up. So you have ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da, hop. Arms is supporting, it's making a semicircle, a full circle, really backwards. Ta ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra ta ra da ta. Okay? I think you get the idea. This transitions very, very naturally from the train. So let's do only train to the right, to the left, and go. Ta ta ra da ta, ta ta ra da ta, go. Ta ta ra da, hop. Ta ta ra da, 2, ta ra ta, 3. Ta and 4, ta ra da ta. I hope we didn't cross the line. We crossed a bit, but I think you can still see us. From here, we come back and we grind the magic powder. Imagine this is your motion. Ta ta ra ta ra da ta, ta ta ra da ta, go front ta ra da ta, ta ta ra da ta, ta ta ra da ta. In our demo, the rhythm swapped in here one more time, and because of that, we were continuing with singing to the left, but again, just for teaching reasons and because we'll play the rhythm from the percussion tutor up, it is very stable. We'll still continue with the right leg, okay? But have in mind that Palo has very flexible rhythm, and if we want to follow the singers while dancing, quite often we are changing directions. But for now, we keep it straight and simple. We go to the right. This is one of my favorite Palo moves. Very demanding physically, very energetic, and quite difficult at the same time. Let's deal with legs first. I bounce on the right. Now, like in a traveling with wings, I have to swap leg, swap, and then I bounce to the left and swap. Bounce, swap, and bounce and swap. Bounce, swap, and bounce and swap. Bounce, swap, and bounce and swap. Bounce. Lowering your upper body will help you with bounce and bounce, sticky, and pa pa ba pa ba ba pa 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 ba pa ba ba pa 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 ba pa ba ba pa 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 ba pa ba ba pa. Okay? On top of that, we have arms. We finished with hitting, so let's travel a bit front. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra ta. Change ta ra ra hop ta ta ra ra ta. You're holding your stick with both arms. Ta ta ra ta 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 ra ta ta ra ta ra hop ta ta ra. I already transitioned to the next one, which is very similar. All that is changing is the upper body behavior. Legs stay the same. So we do 4 katas with arms going up and down. And then 4 katas with right arm going to the right and left arm going to the left. At the same time, I will start tilting my body to the right and to the left. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra ta. Okay. We've done quite a lot. It is quite tiring class. But if you are doing it with us, it's all good. Because if you are tired, we can be tired as well. No problem. Let's finish it off. Yeah, let's finish it and then we'll do everything from the beginning. The transition we've done during the demo and transition we are going to show you now is slightly different. Because we'll be jumping back on one leg. Ta ta da ta da da ta 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 da ta da da ta. I'll go from previous step. So we start to the right. Ta ta ra ta da da ta. And now we go ta ta ra ta da da ta 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 ra ta da da ta. Jumping on the right leg till the last kata. We repeat it twice. So ta ta ra ta da da ta 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 ra ta da da. Boom. We landed. And the final step. Ta ta ra ta da da ta 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 ra ta da da ta. Boom. There will be call and response from singer. Mambe, hey, or something like that. I'm not even sure what they are singing. I should have asked them. You can listen to it. You'll know what we mean. We are responding for this call, so we are moving forward with the cut. So a bit association with Ogun. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta da da ta, and then we are mixing the magic powder that we prepared before, and we blow it and open our arms. And that's the end of the sequence. It is long. It is long. But if you want to go through Palo, these are not all steps that you can dance in Palo. There are a lot more. It's very tiny selection of steps, but a good one. Let's do it from top. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta 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 ra ta da da ta. 2 ta ra ta ra ra ta. 3 ta ra ta ra ra ta. 4 ta ra ta ra ra ta. And 1 arm ta ra ra ta. 2 arm ta ra ra ta. 3 ta ra ra ta. And 4 and up. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. 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 Ta ta ra ta 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 ra ta ra ra hop. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. Ta ta ra ta ra ra hop. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. Ta ta ra ta ra ra hop. Ta ta ra ta ra ra ta. Back, no train, hop. Ta ta ra ta 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 ra ta ra ta 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 ra ta ra ta ta. Back, hop. da 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 from da 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 and jump and da 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 and change da 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 back da 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 boom. Okay, let's do it with music. Music will be not extremely fast, 150 beats per minute. When Dave and Diego are singing, it's 180. So we go a bit slower, so it's easier for you to pick up. However, if you find it too difficult, too fast, you can always slow down the music. You can use the setting buttons in the corner of the player and put it 75% of the speed and try then. If it's too fast, go 50%, will be good. Da 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 da, hop. And forward and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, change. 3, 4 and wings and 1, 2, 3, 4, train. 3, 4, go. 1, front. And forward and change and 1, 2, 3, 4, change and 1, 2, 3, 4, hop. Ding, 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 bah! If you want to see it with the real music, you can obviously rewind it. One of the beautiful elements about dancing and performing Afro-Cuban dances is that in the most of cases, music, dancing, and singing are coming together. Now, obviously, for the classes purposes, we are making it simpler and we are generating the rhythm from the app. You hear over and over the same loop. However, it has a bit of improvisation on the drum, so it's not extremely simple loop, but it's still very, very repeatable. And because of that, adding steps is a bit simpler. Longer you dance, more you will feel when you should adjust your step, when you should change something. But I think this one is a very good introduction to Palo. If you want to see more, definitely you can find a lot of Palo classes on festivals. On YouTube, there are some extremely good Palo performances, maybe without explanation and without breaking it down. But if you want to move on, if you want to push a bit, if you want to discover and learn new elements into it, definitely you can do it. Maybe in the future, we'll do another Palo routine that we'll build out of different steps, different moves, different actions, because possibilities are very, very wide in this dance. I think this is it from us. We'll come back to the studio.
I've got a joke. We talk a lot about the cemeteries today and death. Why do cemeteries always have a fence around them? Because people are dying to get in.
Okay. Okay, and we'll finish with this happy accent. If you would like to see more content like that, remember to like, subscribe, and press the bell. Like, subscribe, and press the bell. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You can become a patron of our channel. Thanks for watching this one, and see you next time. Bye bye.